like a bunch of detail about it, but just kind of might maybe what are you taking into 2021, but what are you taking from 2020? Like instead of taking all of the pain and the loss that we've had throughout the entire year, what has 2020 given you instead of what 2020 has taken from you? And maybe write that down, dig deep and find out what that is, because going into a new year with new goals and everything, believing in yourself um, is where your power resides. Like when you believe in yourself, that is where your power resides. And then when you speak over your life, that has an impact. This morning I woke up, I was laying in bed and I was already discouraging myself from doing a workout. Like I was already telling myself the results won't happen. That little workout you do don't mean nothing. I was already talking myself out of it. And then I flipped the script real quick and I just came downstairs and did it anyways. Um, so you have to, even if it's just a spark to get you started, once you start, keep showing up. Um, so try not to take, I know that it's hard because we did have a lot of pain and a lot of loss in 2020. So it's kind of hard to look at, new goals and starting new things and fresh starts coming out of what 2020 gave us. But instead of looking at how, like, what 2020 took from us, maybe we can look at what 2020 gave us and we can turn our burdens into blessings and flip the script and kind of give the finger to 2020 and go into 2021 on fire. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I love that. I love that. And I know that you guys have probably heard me say before, like in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from first. And I think as we move into a new year, that comes into play too. And um I'm going to go off some of these notes that I took from this morning. I was listening to something that was specifically talking about goals. I listened to your virtual upline a lot. And I was listening to Bob this morning, and he was talking about like goal setting versus goal achieving. And this is kind of going to go off of the live I did from earlier this morning. If you caught it, it might be a little bit of a repeat, but the first thing that he was talking about is that you have to look backwards into your past to see what you've done in order to actually be able to set the pace for what we think that we can achieve. And so just like you said, like look back and see like what has 2020 blessed you with, what are areas that you've learned about yourself, what are areas where you've seen growth, what are areas where that maybe are slapping you in the face right now that maybe you feel like you need to work on a little bit, and look at 2020 as a growing season. I feel like each year is a growing season in its own, in different ways, right? And 2020 may be harder than other years that we've had in a while, but it doesn't mean that just because it was a hard year that you're in a hard place right now. And he says on his podcast a lot, he says that your current results are the evidence of your past thoughts and beliefs. And so as you go into 2021, if you continue to go into 2021 with the mindset that you have now, are you going to see change in your business? Right. And I know that I struggled in the beginning with feeling like, well, I don't know why I should talk about the business because I haven't seen success yet. Right. And so I was basing my future results off of my past results. Right. I was constantly saying, okay, well, I didn't come in and hit my VIPs. So how can I teach somebody to do that? Right. Instead of flipping the script and saying like, well, we have all these great systems in place. We have incredible leadership in place. We have literally every training you could ever think of to help a newbie get to their VIPs, right? And if I would have just seen that versus going into this negative mindset of, okay, well, I didn't do this, or I'm not there yet, or I've had a slow growing season, or all these negative things even me, like I've said personally about my business, if I would have flipped the script a little bit, my results could be totally different right now, right? And so I want you to think about that. Like, what are you speaking over your business? Um, and if you can start creating those positive things that you say about yourself, right? You're waking up and you're talking your gratitude out loud. Maybe you're saying your I am affirmations. Um, really think about like what are the stories that you're telling yourself and focus on the positive, because what happens when you focus on the positive is that self-belief starts to grow. And thinking about the positive and thinking about the realm of possibilities, right? And thinking about like where can you go versus where, like what have you done so far? It makes you act differently. And when you act differently, you get different results, right? And so I'm reading Atomic Habits right now, which is I'll say this again, is not by accident. I'm reading this because I have bad habits that I'm trying to kick because I know that in the long run, they are dragging my business down. And the reason why they're dragging my business down, me staying up late at night, me not being able to prioritize my time as much as I want to, right? Me maybe emotionally eating and packing on some pounds for coronavirus. Maybe these things are overflowing into my business, right? Because when my personal business was booming, it was when I was the healthiest. It was when I was a product of the product. It was when I was confident, like, right? Because of all those things. And I was literally like on fire in the gym. And because I was on fire in the gym, I didn't eat crap at home, right? And I was drinking my water and I was like, actually, like, what's the word? Intentional about every little thing I was doing. I was intentional about my messages that I was bringing onto my social media because I was intentional about my body. I was intentional about my mindset. I was intentional about my growth. And over these last couple months, I've kind of let some things slack and I want to reel some things back in. But one of the things that um, is talked about in this book, I can't really relate to it. I've never been a smoker. Maybe you have. I have no idea. But I've never been a smoker. But one thing that they said in here, it just like was like, oh, this is 100% like I see this. Amazing analogy. He says, imagine two smokers who are trying to quit smoking. My brother smokes. He still smokes. He's been trying to quit for years. And he says it's the hardest thing he's ever tried to do in his life. It's like a demon talking to him is how he says it. And it's a really bad habit, right? And the book, it says, imagine two people who are trying to quit smoking. Person A is offered a cigarette and they say, no, thanks, I'm trying to quit. Person B is offered a cigarette and they say, no, thanks, I'm not a smoker anymore. Person B has completely flipped their mindset and they have embodied the identity of the person who no longer smokes cigarettes. And so their actions are different. And so their results are different versus person A who says, no, thanks, I'm trying to quit smoking. There's a little inkling. There's a little inkling in their mind that they're trying to do it, but they're not yet there yet. Right. And so there's that little wave of the possibility of a crack. Right. And it's that person, it's person A who is more likely to not get to the results versus person B who's already embodied that identity of the person who's not a smoker anymore, right? And so one thing that I've started doing, because for the longest time, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, I've been really good at customer sales, right? Over the last 2.5 years, I've gotten good at that. But as far as like recruiting a team, that's been my weakness, right? And for the longest time, like I sat in that for a long time, right? And recently I started making a switch where Jessie Lee says, what does she say? She says, be a sponsor monster, right? You're a sponsor monster, right? We wake up and we say these gratitudes and we say these I am affirmations of like what we want, right? I am a good mom. I am a good leader. I am worthy. I am capable, whatever, right? Drop some in the chat. But if you like, I started to switch that mindset of recruiting because I know that that's something that I personally want to work on. And I started saying, I am a sponsor monster, right? I started saying, I am a sponsor monster. And we had 2 people join our team last night. And the 2 people, they're not here right now, but I hang on to people a little bit before I throw them all in. But 2 people joined last night, right? Our personal team. And did they join because I said I was a sponsor monster? No. They joined because ever since I started saying I'm a sponsor monster, maybe I showed up a little bit differently in my stories. Maybe I started speaking more life into my audience. Maybe I started speaking more about what the business is doing for me and where I'm going versus what it's done for me so far. Right? Maybe I started talking about my pain a little bit more. Maybe I started saying things like, I'm tired of being the first mom at daycare to drop off and the last one to pick up. Right? Maybe I started talking about how I don't want to be chained to a time clock for the rest of my life. Right? And for the longest time, you guys, it was so hard for me to talk about the business. One, because my self-belief wasn't there. And so if you're sitting in that right now, I'm telling you, you have to get up. You have to stand up and you have to start to move differently. You have to start thinking differently. You have to start speaking differently to yourself, or you're never going to get out of the pit. And we have to start setting our goals in the realm of what's possible versus the realm of what you've produced in your business so far, right? It's like Karen and I were talking yesterday. Was it yesterday where we were like, okay, well, maybe a good goal is to set what's your X amount of product credit you want to earn every month, right? Don't look at it like, okay, well, I only earned X amount this month, so that's all I'm capable of. Is that accurate? No. Start thinking of, okay, well, what am I capable of? Am I capable of earning all 3 steps completely for free every single month? We all are capable of that. You're capable of that on your account. You're capable of that on your husband's account, okay? Or your sister's account or whatever, right? So when you look at your goals, I urge you to write them down. I didn't write mine down for the longest time. I wake up and I look at my vision board now, right? I look at my vision board and it says how many samples I want to sell per month. January, I'm doubling that shit because November, I was a little bit more on fire than I am for December. I don't know if it's Christmas. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know any of that yet, but I'm doubling that shit for January. And I'm going to step up because Ivy, I don't know if you know a girl named Ivy on our team. Okay, we have a leadership chat. Once you hit 4K rank, there's a leadership chat that you can be added to. And she sold 40 samples for December. Why can't I do that? Right? If she's capable of selling 40 samples for December, can we not do that? Right? I was looking at that. She's like, I don't like to toot my own horn. We're like, toot, toot. Like, tell us all the secrets. Legit. Like, what did you do? And she was like, well, some of them were just like $10 samples of like plus line products, but it's still a sample sold. Right? Don't discredit it just because it's not a $25 sample. Don't discredit it because maybe you discounted it and made it $20. Sorry for cussing you guys, but she's like, a lot of them were $20 samples because she put them on sale for the month of December. And then some of them, 10 of them were plus line samples. But I was listening to that today and I was just like, holy crap, like I gotta step up my game a little bit. Okay. Because I was ambitious last month with 10, right? And so I wake up and I look at this every single day, but I didn't used to. I didn't used to have this written down. I didn't even have a vision board. Okay. And when I'll tell you the difference between my business then and my business now is you know where you're going. And when you know where you're going, you know how to show up and you know what you're working towards. And maybe you start speaking life into your stories a little bit, right? Maybe you start speaking life into your live videos a little bit. And when you're looking at your goals, like I don't have BMW, Mercedes on my vision board. Okay. I could give two rat's asses about a luxury vehicle. I just don't. I don't operate like that. Like that. That's not my love language. Gifts, I don't care if you ever give me a gift in your life, right? But I care about the difference that I'm making. I care about the difference I'm making in the life of my children, my husband, of being able to stress less because of money, right? And so when I'm writing down my vision and my goals, I don't want you to set your goals based off of somebody else's vision board. Okay. Just because somebody in network marketing, in this business, whoever that you look up to brought their husband home with this business, maybe that's not on your heart. Maybe that's not on your husband's heart, right? I asked Sean once, I said, babe, if you never had to like work again, how would that make you feel? He's like, I want to work, right? He would want to do something, maybe not fire department, but he would want to do something, right? So like, don't put that on them. I want you to make your vision board off of what you want and your family wants and your kids want. And what do you see, right? So set those goals. Sorry, I got off my notes. Make them meaningful to you, not based off someone else's definition of success. Because when they matter to you, they will be strong enough to keep you going when things get tough. Okay. And think about, if you don't know what to write down, like what inspires you, right? If you've never written down your fives for why you like this business, why you like the products and why you like the business, then we need to get to work. Then we need to write down why we're here. I didn't know why I was here in the beginning. I just wanted free product credit. And I was like, maybe I can earn a paycheck. How cool would that be? And then I sat here a little bit longer and these leaders started pouring into me a little bit. And I was just like, wait a minute. I can create something huge here. I can change my life here. And I've kind of fallen in love with the process along the way. And what I'll say on that real quick is that you have to fall in love with the process, because if you have success and you're not fulfilled, one thing Tony Robbins says, he says that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And when I hear that quote, I think about my career choice, honestly. And I think about how I spent so much time, so much money, so much everything. I'm always away from home. My babies never know when I'm going to be home, right? And I think to myself, like, I'm successful because I graduated with honors, right? I'm successful because I've gotten like awards for being a nurse and I've gotten like kudos for things, but like it doesn't fulfill me, right? And I didn't really know that until I stepped into this, until I started seeing y'all's little faces and y'all started telling me what you wanted. Then I show up differently for you, right? And so maybe you haven't recruited anybody this year. Maybe you haven't signed any customers yet. Maybe you're just still trying to figure it out and you're in that awkward phase, and that's okay. But can you show up for the girl who's about to join you? Can you show up for her? Because she's watching you and she's waiting for you to say something that's going to tug on her heart a little bit, right? And so as you start setting your goals and you write them down, make big goals. Make big goals that you don't even think that you can accomplish. Most of your goals need to be realistic, right? But some of them need to be really big. You've heard people say before, like make a goal that scares you, right? How about we make goals that we know we can't accomplish until we grow into the person who can accomplish them, right? That hits a little harder, right? And then you start looking at yourself and you're like, dang, right? Example, if I want to lose my 10 pounds that I gained in coronavirus, not business related. I mean, it kind of is. If I want to lose my 10 corona pounds, then who do I need to be to do that? I need to be the girl who maybe doesn't go in the pantry at 10 o'clock at night. I need to be the girl who's consistently getting up and going to the gym when she can fit it in to her schedule, right? I need to be the girl that's moving her body, because if I'm embodying that identity of that person that I've done before, then I show up differently. Then I work out differently. Then I eat differently, right? And then what is different? My results are different. Our business is the same way. Our business is the same way. And this is kind of like Santa Claus. Like you have to believe in it before you see it. And that's really, really hard to do. It's a really hard place to keep pushing and to keep going and to keep failing forward and to keep going when you don't see the results yet. I get that. But your new life that you're wanting to create is going to take you giving up your current you, because you have to grow into the person who can do A, B, C, whatever it is to grow your business. It's going to take a whole new you to learn to get comfortable on live video, to have bold conversations, to stumble and to keep going in those awkward conversations with potentials, right? The only way that you're going to get better at it is to keep going, right? And the only way you're ever going to fail is if you give up on yourself. And so that's kind of where I wanted to leave it for tonight. There's Denise, she's back. That maybe you can start showing up differently because you embody that girl that you need to be for your business, right? Make green choices. I said on my live video today that Kaylin and Emmy do at preschool. They either have a red choice or they have a green choice at preschool. And either way, they're moving one side of the line, right? If you make a green choice and a green choice and a green choice and a green choice, you eventually get to that result, right? Versus if you make a red choice and a red choice and a green choice and a red choice and a red choice and a red choice. Does that make sense? Every choice that you make, the live video that you decide to do, even when you're uncomfortable, right? When you don't have makeup on and it's not perfect and your kids are screaming in the background, every live video you decide to do, every live video is what? A good live. Every time you decide to go face-to-face on your stories, every time you post about the products, every time you post about the business, every time you share a little bit about your life and what you're going through and how you're growing and where this business is taking you, green choice, green choice, green choice, right? You're literally casting a vote for the identity of the person that you need to be. And what happens is then it becomes easier to throw those green choices, right? It becomes easier to do those things because along the way, you are growing into the person you need to be to achieve your goal. This is Bob Heilig, and I love it. But he says, oh, I just left me. He says, dang it, now I'm having a brain fart. Hold on, where was it? Where was I? Lord, that was the worst brain fart moment I've ever had in my life. Hold on. Why is it escaping me? Dang it, it's a really good one from him. It'll come to me in a minute. But as you're setting your goals for 2021, write them down. Write down how many samples you want to sell for January. What rank are you pushing for? And when would you like to hit it by? And what is it going to take for you to get there? Right? Maybe you have promoters that you enroll, and maybe you do one-on-one coaching with them. And maybe that makes you hella uncomfortable, right? But it's who you're growing into to achieve that goal. Oh, this is his saying. He says, the purpose of the goal is not achieving the goal. The purpose of the goal is who you're becoming in the process of achieving that goal. It's the identity that you're becoming, the person that you're becoming. Because listen, if I set out to lose 10 pounds and I work my butt off and I'm in the gym and I'm drinking my water and I'm eating good, and come whatever time frame I said I wanted to lose that 10 pounds by, if I weigh in and I'm 8 pounds lighter, am I a failure? No. I'm not a failure because I became the person who can achieve big things because I set out to do the things. Right? I became the girl who can get up and go to the gym. I became the girl who can eat the healthy things. I became the girl who can drink the water. Think of your business exactly the same. I don't want to keep you guys here for too long tonight, but I cannot tell you what to write on your vision board. I cannot tell you that you should sell 5 samples, because maybe 5 samples for you is like blowing it out of the park. Maybe you've never sold a single sample and you need to start with 2, right? You need to show yourself what you're capable of, right? I can't set those numbers for you. I can't tell you what to put on your vision board. You need to sit down in some quiet time and close your eyes and think about 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years from now. What does your life look like? Right? Get a little heart-centered with it and say that your goals, make them matter. Make them matter. Don't make them somebody else's. I'm going to leave you at that tonight. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to talk about tonight? Go over? Did you feel like this was helpful? Do you want me to open it up to the Better Together chat, or do you want to keep it just us? Tonight, I just thought I would keep it just us. But if you'd like to just keep it just us, that's fine too. Okay. We will do that. I don't feel bad about that. I want to make sure that you guys know that I am here to help you grow. I am here to help you through this next phase for a lot of you guys of leadership, of stepping into unknown, right? Territory that's a little bit scary. And anything, any question, any concern, any obstacle that you come up along the way, I promise you, if I haven't personally been through it, I will find somebody who has, and we will find an answer, and we will grow together, because that's what this is about. Okay. And so if you don't have a vision board, go make a vision board. I don't care if it's on a piece of paper. I don't care if it's on a cork board. I don't care if it's on your mirror, but do something that speaks to you. Write down what your goals are for yourself, why you're here, what you're working towards, right? Katie asked me last night, she said, or yesterday, she said, why are you here? Because it's obviously not the money. I said, it's not the money, it's the time. It's because I know that I can create time freedom. And so, no, you're not going to see a Benz or a whatever car on my vision board. It means a hell of a lot more to me to have a safe and reliable car that's paid for. Right? I don't need anything fancy, but maybe you do. Some people do, right? Some people need fancy things. Some people need gifts. Some people need more time with their family. Some people just want the community of women. Some people aren't even here for money or any, right? Right. Some people will join you who don't even really want to run the business, but they just want, like, they basically want to be like a VIP customer. Like, they want to be a promoter because if they refer somebody, then they're going to make commission, but like they have different visions. And it's okay that people have different visions. And it's okay that your vision board looks different than mine. But it better mean something to you, right? And it better be something that scares you. I tell you, the scariest thing on my vision board is to never have to put my mother in a nursing home. Right? Is she at the age of that right now? I hope not. But I never know what tomorrow brings. Right? Right now, she's healthy and she's thriving. Right? She's thriving, little Grammy. But if this business can give me that, right? I want you to think about what the business can do for you. And start there. Okay. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I will let you guys go. And we will plan on coming back next Monday at 8. I will try to keep these to like 30 minutes. We'll come up with something else to talk about next week. Maybe we'll do a Q&A. I don't know. We'll figure it out. In the Better Together chat, drop anything that you want me to go over. If you're like, hey, can you talk about whatever, conversations with people, or hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? We will figure it out. Okay, guys? Love you. Go get some rest. Bye.